Welcome back. When we think about the habits most of us have, well, many of them are well established. Every day you make choices that you don't have to consider or think about. You simply do them. And thank goodness, because we'd all be exhausted before we ever left the house if we had to consider everything that we need to do. It's great when our habits work for us and help us live the lives we desire, from the simple choice of remembering to shower and brush our teeth so that people want to be around us, to more complex decisions like deciding to make the time to study and stay current on continuing education. But what about the habits that don't align with what we want to achieve? What about your client who really wants to lose weight and is consistently training to make that happen, but tells you that she just can't stop late night snacking on chips? Or what about the athlete who says they are committed to improving their performance, but then keeps on telling you about grabbing drinks with friends several nights a week? Reminding our clients, and if we're being honest, even ourselves, how these choices impact our ability to reach our goals isn't effective. We can't just tell them what to do. Many times, we already know that these things are working against us. We know what we should be doing. Instead, we have to learn how to unwire the habit and rewire a new one to create changes that support our goals and that will last. And that takes conscious and repeated effort. The interesting thing about our brains is that they really like to be efficient. Your brain wants to take any action that you repeatedly do over and over and over again and move it into a habit, because when it does that, it actually requires less effort to process and perform the behavior. It's been estimated that 43% of the decisions and behaviors that we do each and every day are habitual, meaning we do the same things over and over and over again and in the same way. That's great when that works for us, right? And when we're making good decisions, but not so good when it works against us. You see, when a habit is formed, the brain actually stops participating fully in the decision-making process, and instead it turns it over to our subconscious. Now, it's been estimated that our subconscious part of our brain can run the show for as much as 95% of the choices we make each and every day. This unconscious part of the brain, which is also referred to as the automatic, the fast brain, or even system 1, that part of the brain really helps us preserve mental effort, and it saves it for the critical thinking and problem solving that the brain really wants to focus on. So the fast brain is the one that steps in and makes a fast decision quickly, and it usually makes that decision based on our own experience, maybe on emotion, or even impulsivity. It's the one that when you feel a surge of stress at the end of a long, hard day, declares, "Man, I need a drink." The conscious part of the brain, however, which is known as the slow brain or system 2, that's much more rational and logical. This part of the brain considers the pros and cons of any situation. It will consider the potential long-term consequences and will even connect our current choice to our long-term goals. The slow part of the brain is the one that you can plan on to help you decide how to handle that stressful situation. So when you want to turn to a drink, what might you choose to do instead? So it really prepares us in advance. So which one wins? It depends on what system you're using in the moment the decision is made. Now, of course, there are ways to move toward more conscious awareness of the choices we're making and why we're making them, and how to make it less likely that our fast brain is going to rule the show. We'll talk more about that in the next video that describes the habit loop, and we can see how habits are formed. I'll see you there.